Huge mess.
Huge mess.
This is
huge mess. Almost a huge mess made by Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Mr. Kelsey. Even if that would have been a disaster, probably would have been the second most noteworthy thing a Kelsey brother had done this week. We'll leave that where it is for now as we let you matriculate in. We're sitting at a halftime score of 10-7. The Chiefs are in the lead. A really nice drive by the Bucs, I will say. The rest of their drives have been much less impressive. The Chiefs had something cooking there before halftime, but like I said, the fumble put a stop on that. The Chiefs started with the ball and punted after a 10-play, 29-yard drive. So Tampa Bay will start with the ball in the second half.
It's been good for the under so far. A lot of yards.
I played the team total under on Tampa.
On the Buccaneers. Yeah. They only have 115 yards so far. It really was just that one drive, which was short drive. I can't remember. It was set up by a punt return? I don't remember. No, it was just a regular.
No, it was a full-ass 70-yard drive.
Huh.
They just so the big part of that was they converted a nice shove. That run with Shepard on the short 3rd and 1 went for a big gash. And then again to Shepard on 3rd down from the 20. Scored on, 1st and goal as soon as they got down there.
Chiefs have been very, very efficient. 175 total yards, only 4.7 yards per play. I guess maybe I take that back. But 6 of 8 on 3rd down so far. The pass from Mahomes to DeAndre Hopkins, I think, would qualify as the highlight of the game so far. Not exactly sure in any way, shape, or form how Mahomes got that pass off, and as expertly
as he could,
as expertly located as possible. Like that was an absolutely perfect ball, and it seemed like he threw it blind. Boy, it would be interesting.
It was Drake May-esque.
Yeah. Drake May. He pulled the May. Close his eyes and let it rip. It would be something in the AFC if Hopkins and Mahomes found that type of chemistry in the long run, where they can just hand to hand make a 30-yard pass look like a handoff.
Especially
second half openings.
You're going to get Pacheco back eventually. This offense does seem to be getting a little bit better. Again, they're not going to score 30 points, but that's not what they do. Anything over 21, I suppose we play an under because the Chiefs have 23. Okay, yeah,
under 23
Totals for me.
Okay, that's a full game under of 40. Is that right? Yes.
Yeah, we're sitting at 17. Probably some 23.5s out there at the softer books in the world.
Okay. Best number I got is -112 on under 23. So
I'll play a little bet here. Yeah, that was a quick one. All right, we'll see you guys Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern. We'll do a whole thing. Who's the wide receiver I can't think of now? Rice. What was his status?
Rice.
What am I?
He's out. He ended up needing surgery.
He had the surgery.
He'll be out. Yeah. They ended up.
That was a weird timeline.
I want to say he ended up not having a torn ACL, but it was like a torn LCL, PCL, something like that. It was not your common knee injury at all.
Yeah, that's a weird one. No damage to the ACL or the meniscus, but I don't know if that's like playoffs or not. I can't remember. If somebody remembers that. Like if he was available late in the year, that would be obviously big. Pacheco will be back. That's fun. And yes, Bryce, maybe a suspension at some point too. Did forget he is basically a honorary University of Georgia Bulldog at this point. College basketball's back, guys.
Actually, you know what the upset of the game to this point is, Andy? 5.9 yards per rush for the Bucs. They're moving the
Yeah.
ball pretty effectively on the ground somehow. The Chiefs
So,
have been virtually impossible to gain yards on the ground so far, particularly these last handful of weeks, and yet they're doing it.
So it was, if you look at just like Bucky Irving, 5 for 18, 3.6, that checks out.
Yep.
It is a little tilted by the Sterling Shepard, a little bit of a gadget run. He went for 19 yards. Mayfield had a 10-yard scramble, which, I mean, you got to stop that too.
It was a really good red zone run from White.
Yeah, I think that was his only. He did have one other run for like 2 or 3 yards, but the running backs haven't been great outside of probably that one run. It's been the gadget stuff, which kind of what you have to do. You can't go into this game and say, let's use a traditional run scheme and expect to beat a really, really good defense.
Do you Chiefs vulnerable at all on this one to just lose outright?
Yeah, I mean, they're only up by 3. If they're going to be the team that's turning the ball over, that's kind of what, when we talked about it in the review show, and I said Ben Johnson masterclass by putting the game plan together that was safe. So it's kind of the same thing. The Chiefs would win a lot more handily if they didn't have stupid interceptions usually. In this jam, it was, another Hall of Famer, Kelsey, just getting the ball punched out on a weird cut. He probably didn't even gain him much by making that cut. So
yeah, pretty bad rushing attempts for Xavier Worthy in this game as well. He is minus 1.21 EPA per play. That's not good.
They might stop with those. They might just stick with Hunt and Perrine at this point.
I'm okay. You know what? I give them latitude. Go ahead and stop doing that play. At least in this game. In general, the Chiefs doing nothing on the ground. Minus 0.3 EP per rush so far in this one, with 11 touches in the running game. Mahomes scrambling, still a factor. Would expect that most rushes in the second half for the Chiefs will be Mahomes scrambles. I think Chiefs probably pass rate over expectation goes up, and there's a lot of short stuff here to Hopkins and to Kelsey in the second half. Hopkins has 6 for 66 already. Kelsey 7 for 51. Both guys getting double-digit receptions in this game feels realistic to me. Mahomes has had 4 incompletions. 2 of them were to Worthy. Basically, Worthy's just having an absolute dog shit night.
Not your night. Thinking of the Sean Wallace as the blackjack dealer. Yeah, defensively, like you said, and it's been a little rough too. Karlaftis has a sack though.
Yeah, what I like
is out there. He's made a couple tackles.
You know who gets an attaboy for me in this game? The refs. Are they out there?
Let them play.
Let them play.
Yeah, it's been. Goodness. Oh my god, the worst penalty we've probably seen all weekend. How the fuck do you get a delay of game on the first play of the second quarter, Tampa Bay? Did they walk out there and go to the wrong end of the field at first and be like, oh shit, I forgot they go to the other. Oh no, what do we do? Get down there. Oh no, it's too late. Let's not waste time. That's a really bad, like out of a timeout is probably the second worst. This has to be the worst. The whole break and you get a delay of game. Not great. Yeah, the refs letting them play, although it's not like we've seen bad pass interference that's been let go. I mean, it's
no, it's been good defense. It's been good. It's been good, clean football.
That's how we want to see it. We don't want the refs getting too involved.
No.
Tyke Smith with 7 tackles. He was questionable to play.
We're not worthy. I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, got my Sabbath shirt on today.
Black Sabbath.
When I went to Hot Topic, I went all out, boys. Has Ballard been fired yet? I don't know. Do you think we get another coach firing yet?
Ballard is the GM of the Colts. Is that who they're referring to?
Yeah, I don't think.
You know what we didn't cover on the Colts recap? I don't have anything else to say about this game. This game is really not interesting to me for some reason. Probably because of the the incoming tsunami of political nonsense in the next 48 to the hours to 48 days. But it
sucks that I'm gonna stay up so late, Drew.
Oh, I know.
Do this every year. It's like I hate fuck with this election. I hate it so much, but I'm going to stay up and I'm going to be watching Kornacki just work for 5 hours. I'm going to be in the Discord. I'm going to be on the Twitter. I'm going to be texting people.
Kornacki did a nice primer with Dan from the Pod Save America guys, kind of talking about the counties you want to pay attention to around 5 o'clock when reporting starts.
It's
to really
crazy
kind
how
of
many
get a sense of what's coming.
I wonder how many counties he could name. Like, just start naming counties in the United States. He has to be the guy who can name the most.
He's him or the redistrict guy, probably, right?
Oh shit, yeah.
That guy knows everything as well. Let me ask you the no movement in the market, by the way. It's -3, under 23. I don't know if they've taken a single bet.
Oh, I thought you were talking the election.
No, there's been plenty of that. What I was gonna ask, oh yeah, we didn't cover it in the Colts game, but what's going on with the Jim Irsay's daughter on the sidelines?
I don't know. That's been a thing for a couple games now.
What's going on?
She's all decked out in she's got the headset. She's got placard.
Have we gotten a comment from the coaching staff as to what exactly her role is?
No. She is like an independent consultant for her father, evaluating the coaches. And it's not just her. It's her both. There's 2 of them apparently that are down there. Or I don't know if the other one's down on the field, but they both work for dad as like coaching evaluators. Like they're QA, I guess. They're QC, whatever you want to call it, which is weird, right?
Yeah. It's super weird. Yeah. Yes. The Irsay finding new weird wrinkles to incorporate into his Colts ownership story is was not should have expected it, I guess.
Technically she owns part of the team, so I mean it is
she can do what she wants.
Can't tell her what the fuck to do.
She do what she wants.
She does look crazy. She looks like she has a crazy streak.
Jim Irsay has how many kids? You got it? You got to know?
3
kids.
Why would I know that?
Meg Croyle, Carly Irsay Gordon. I don't know. I don't think there are. I don't think
Carly's the one on the sideline.
Yeah. They have 3 daughters: Carly, Casey, and Kaylin. 10 grandchildren.
I like it. You gotta do it with the alliteration.
Yeah. Jim Irsay and Meg Coyle, who we got married to in 1980, were divorced in November of 2013. Sadly, that preceded an all-time bender for Jim. He went on to get arrested for suspicion of DUI in March of 2014, and then, of course, driving under the influence and drug possession in Carmel, Indiana. That's where you want to go when you're having a
one time.
Yeah, interesting. Terrible kickoff return for our under. Need the Chiefs defense to step up a little bit. Chris Jones had a nice play in the first half. Getting a sense that his DPOI case is building at all, or is that just going to die on the vine?
I looked at it. So 10-1 earlier today. I looked at it and I thought about it, and he just doesn't seem to make flash plays. I don't know. He is so meaningful for this defense, and he's so important for what they're doing up front. But he's not getting the ball bounces right to TJ Watt. That guy has had to have like stolen Tomlin's underwear and like gotten some of the voodoo from it. Not that TJ Watt isn't an electric player, but he has the best luck on fumbles.
Yeah, I would actually love to know this for sure, one way or the other. But you know when the Giants and the Steelers played last Monday night?
Mm-hmm.
You know how most plays they'll give you like 1, 2, maybe if it's a really good play, like 3 replays. I think the strip sack from TJ Watt of Daniel Jones got replayed 16 times. I stopped counting. It was in the teens. They replayed that fucking strip sack over and over and over again. Like
it was a good sack,
weird.
but also it was on the Giants. Like the Giants
Yeah.
fucked up bad there.
Yeah, that was a Giants fuck up, but they just can't help themselves but give it to you over and over and over again. And maybe they know that's what the Steelers fans want and they expect it, and they're just giving them their candy on Halloween. They're just
Gotta have it.
Here you go, guys. Eat it up, eat up.
Those, if you're in the Discord, you know how I feel about the terrible towels. Wave them dirty rags. Did you have any final thoughts on like the final polls? We said we talked. I don't want to get too deep into it. Well, I do have one. I told Drew this off the air. I heard some noise, and some door knocker dumped a shitload of door hangers made a big old mess. So I wasn't going to vote in the Minnesota House 25B
you didn't
election.
do your own research. Yeah,
I didn't do my own research, but now I am, because this guy's door knocker made a mess. So voting for it looks like he's probably going to lose 2-1 anyway, but now he's going to lose by a little more. That was a clear horse collar. Oh, everything is going poorly for me. I have the Tampa team total under as well. I need this held to a field goal at least, guys.
Turnover is possible. The gutless, you're probably not going to get a downs, right? Like Todd Bowles is desperate to take the points, I think, on this stretch.
He loves.
He is relishing at the opportunity to take the points here.
Playing well. I don't know if I got a misread or if it's just a down night, but the Bucs. I thought this would be a much tougher test. I guess going back to this game.
I mean, the Chiefs defense looks like they believed in how good they've been playing.
Playing Atlanta at home is not a good defense, and it's a much easier test than going on the road to Kansas City and playing these guys. And I can't believe they're just the tackling has been atrocious for a couple of these guys right now. First and 10 from the 11.
The final polls question is pretty obvious to me, which is the likelihood of a Trump blowout, I think, is nil. The likelihood of a Trump 50-50 win is meaningful. The likelihood of a Kamala 50-50 win is meaningful. But the Seltzer poll certainly opens up the door for a Kamala blowout, I think. So that
especially if the Midwest follows suit.
Yeah, right.
That was Michigan.
Yes, there's
Iowa flipping would be weird.
There's a very sincere effort that is being, stop me if you've heard this before, but the media has glommed onto the word herding around polling. And even though this was the first time it's ever been used ever as an adjective to describe adjective herding as a noun, as a verb, herding.
Verb.
First time it's ever been used as that was too easy. Jesus Christ.
What was the drive?
That was 15 seconds. No, it's a minute and a half, but still, Jesus Christ. What the hell was that, Chiefs D? Whew. Oh no, that was 324.
324. Man. All right. Take that. That's Chiefs score, and that's it.
Sheesh, man.
But
yeah, the herding kind of commentary is interesting to me because this came up when we talked to Zeus. Actually, he brought up the kind of the big advancement in polling this cycle was the anchoring to recall, right? And in doing so, trying to reconstitute a more likely turnout with the people you talk to, right? So I'm just guessing how many 50-year-old white women are going to show up. You're anchoring your demographic plus your self-reported who you voted for last in order to come up with the sample structure has made it so that most of the polls are just converging very, very tightly, bunching very, very tightly around the 2020 result. And I think in the back of my mind, the chances that there's a miss in favor, that they're underrepresenting the enthusiasm that the Democratic voting bloc has to support this particular candidate and, this particular issue of women's reproductive rights, I think is makes it very possible that there could be, a pretty sizable surprise overperformance from,
the women of Iowa.
Yeah. Iowa is also though, like, I don't think they love the tariff talk. So Iowa might have been just sort of a local hot spot, a local hot button that makes Iowa kind of in play. And like, there's also
Yeah,
a
no, I
possibility that
wish I knew
Iowa,
like more
that
about how
Trump
these
just
polls are
wins Iowa by
conducted.
one and doesn't mean anything because it was very
Yeah.
hyper local because they got kind of glommed onto the tariff stuff.
I
Who
have no
knows?
idea if Iowa's becoming more progressive or not. Like I've been to probably the three biggest cities in Iowa, and they're not big cities. You know, it doesn't have that feel. It feels like the hey, it's the local mid-sized city that has the mall that everyone goes to. Even even Des Moines and Ames, Iowa City, Council Bluffs. Did I just name all four cities that exist? The
Yes.
Quad Cities,
Cedar
Davenport,
Rapids? Did you say
Cedar Rapids. I didn't say Cedar Rapids. I have been there. Waterloo. Waterloo is a very nice little garbage town. They have a good water park. I'd like to go down. They have a water park and a casino, guys.
Is
Casino.
that Napoleon hanging out there eating his banana splits? That's a Bill and
I
Ted
kind of
throwback.
want to watch Bill and Ted now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand some of the tariff stuff because I'm not up to date on that, but it feels like a lot of it doesn't seem like it's actually doable, and it probably is just going to be status quo no matter who gets in on the tariff stuff.
Who the hell knows? The yeah, the to me at least the door is open for hey, we were, the polls were specifically biased in a way that was trying to make sure they didn't miss on Trump again, and inadvertently they missed on the Democratic support. It's possible. But I think that's like I think that's like the a black swan for Republicans that's worth betting into like some of the absurdly alt markets, right? Like margin of victory 90 plus type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that's just saying that there's maybe a 10% chance that happens. And if you can find better than 10 to 1, then go for it. But I also don't love the way that bookmaker specifically structured those markets where the big is bananas, and they put the demarcation line between the bins at exactly the wrong places. So there's really no edge there. Did you notice that?
I didn't look at it. I'll take your word for it. I mean, it makes sense. That's how I would do it too. You look at what happened. Like, look at all the scenarios where the swing states go. Let's look at the 100 and whatever different way the swing states could go in combination, and then look at the most common ones because let's face it, Arizona and Nevada probably similar, and start looking at those where you should put those lines, and then piss off people like Drew. Yeah, I think there's some elections. I don't have much equity in anything right now. I'm true to my word. I'm waiting for the day off. I'm gonna do mostly live betting. It's gonna be live betting. I'm gonna watch some. I did really well in live betting some states, individual states that count the votes a certain way.
I've been told the counties to keep an eye on, the swing counties in Georgia to keep an eye on. Obviously,
the ones that border Atlanta.
Huge, you're suspecting huge support there, but just kind of confirmation that that's not a gain is huge for that you're not looking for gains for Harris there, but you're just looking to confirm that there weren't gains in the African American community. Gains in the suburbs of Atlanta would be
the way the
important.
Democrats were able to get out the vote.
Savannah would be a big one. Yeah.
If you remember the two Senate runoffs, if you get
Warnock twice.
Like that,
Warnock twice.
If you get turnout like that, then Georgia's in play for sure for blue.
Yeah, I think, but that's kind of like how I think most of the questions you're trying to answer, if you're live betting, are really just the turnout questions for, because the kind of the current thesis is there was a operational criticism of the Republicans not trying to push their voters to do the early voting in 2020, and some people are convinced that cost them that election. I think that's pretty absurd, but that's
Did you see the numbers on early voting?
Yeah
it is amazing how that's just become the norm now after the pandemic.
That end, there was a huge uptick on the Republican side because of messaging and efforting, and that is going to really change the sort of the construct of the votes and how they get counted and when they come in, and that will change sort of the and a state may be expected to start red and then trend blue. Like that's always what happens in Florida, right? Like they can call Florida early because they know pretty well what the numbers are going to look like in Broward and Miami-Dade. And those are the last ones that get counted and reported. And they're always heavy blue. And if they get enough red otherwise, then they're like, okay, we can call Florida now. And I think I'm interested to see if there's projections on Florida that imply gains for Trump that make Kamala a bet night of. That's huge for sure. But I'm going to have to see kind of evidence that things are trending positively in Georgia and North Carolina for Harris to feel any kind of this is bet of a lifetime type of stuff. I don't think this is bet of a lifetime this year. Do you?
No, it doesn't feel very Mayweather-ish, does it?
Not
I mean,
really.
it depends on where the situation is sitting with Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, probably late at night. We're sitting there 10, I'm talking my time, 10, 11 o'clock. There's probably going to be a spot where we're going to have to look and be like, well, do we know better? And what are the books pricing it at us? Like, is she 4-1? Like, there were some bad Biden numbers because of that. And it's not like, oh, Biden's going to crush this. I mean, he always was going to in the popular vote, but the way things were going to go, it was like, the way they were pricing him, he was just going to lose by 90 electoral votes. And it's like, well, that's silly because it's obviously very close in like 3 or 4 states here that they are kind of calling the other way. I can't remember the prices I got on Georgia. But I mean, it was, I bet Georgia. I didn't even bet Biden. I bet states. Like it was just, I had a little exposure, but that would have been, I mean, that was a bigger number if I recall right. I think it was the price to win Georgia and the price to win Biden. The Biden number was bigger. I played it more safe and just played a bunch of Georgia. It's crazy how much money I've bet on Georgia as a political state because I definitely bet both the runoff elections too.
Of course. So what's your read on Georgia? What do you think about the fact that
I don't know, both Dems they opened as dogs at sportsbook.ag, I remember, and somebody pointed that out. I'm like, well, that's not right.
Yeah. What do you think about the fact that 10% of the 2020 vote is already in Fulton County?
I don't know. I haven't really tracked it much. I'm excited to, like I said, I'm excited to just sit down with Kornacki tomorrow.
Yeah. The ones that I think to keep an eye on: Fulton, Gwinnett, Cobb, DeKalb, and Chatham. And if you are seeing expectations met or exceeded there, then that's your first sign that something good is happening. If you are supporting Kamala, I guess something bad is happening if you're supporting Trump. But
they
already got you primed.
In the suburbs. I'm gonna call him. Tampa Bay is just a truck. I mean, there's no way around it. The Chiefs are in trouble. This is probably a Super Bowl matchup at this point. Is Atlanta, and speaking of Georgia, is Atlanta in trouble? Objects in your rear view, closer than they appear.
Let me tell you.
The Bucs right now.
The Falcons beat the Bucs twice, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean,
did they, or was it just one?
No, they beat them both times. Remember, it was the overtime.
It was the overtime, and then it was the 5-pointer. Yeah.
Yeah, lost last week as well.
Okay, so we talked about this already, but my futures price for the Falcons to win the South is 90. They're by far the most likely division winner right now in the NFC. I'm projecting Tampa at 8.5. Let's just assume that I had a very low expectation of them winning.
We're calling Atlanta. We're calling Atlanta at 9 p.m. Central Time. Atlanta has been called. I'm getting calls in that we are indeed calling Buffalo. Calling Buffalo for the East.
Calling Buffalo for the East. Absolutely.
It's one of those where as soon as all right, we've closed the polls on the East Coast.
It's 8 p.m. Eastern. The polls in New York are closed. We have called Buffalo for the NFC.
Buffalo's East. 4 Super Bowl losses and 8 electoral votes go to the NFC East champions. AFC East.
We might have a battle on our hands in the AFC West if this carries on. The Chargers have lost some dumb games, though. Let me see.
Detroit for the North, I'm not so sure, although they did have, the win over Minnesota is big. The loss, the win over Green Bay is massive. Still, they have to beat them both again.
My numbers for the North are Detroit, 70. So we have 70% reporting in Detroit. We have 22% reporting in Minnesota. Only
Minnesota.
5%
You remember
for
that?
Green Bay. Yeah, 5% for Green Bay and 2% for the Chicago Bears. Bears and Green Bay, not all that different probabilities of winning the North right now.
Yeah, we're just getting a note now that Doug Peterson is joining the stage for a concession speech. He will be bowing out of the AFC South race at this point. Congrats, smiling faces. It's a good price. Uphill battle. Oh my God. If you're going to let him get every third down, why don't you just fucking quit? Go home. Andy Reid, terrible coach.
His coach of the year case going up in smoke as we speak, by the way. The
Philly for the East. I don't know.
I'm only at 46.5% there. And honestly, the warning signs are kind of still there for that team.
It feels like they're just going to truck Dallas, though. I think if you bet them, if you want to bet them this week.
Both Philly and Washington
has
two more
Washington
against
has
Dallas.
a tougher test.
They both get 2 more against Dallas.
So let's just call that a wash.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn is like plus 185 for coach of the year. The Eagles just have that fuck up gene, though. They are so talented, but they have, I don't know. It's the Lamborghini next to the trailer home, and the trailer home is Sirianni. Like I worry that he's going to do something stupid and cost them a game or two.
Okay.
What's the fare for Philly, Washington? Is that game in Philly, Sam?
The next one is Washington at Philadelphia on November 14th. You want my number?
I'm gonna punch up mine too. So it's at Philly, Washington, Philly,
November 14th. Presumably, all precinct will have reported in Philly by then.
I will make the Philadelphia Eagles with, I'm assuming, full health for AJ Brown.
Okay.
I'm assuming full health for Lane Johnson.
Is this a primetime game? Oh, is this Thursday Night Football?
Thursday night game where I am giving a little bit of a bump to the experienced quarterback. I haven't moved the number. 1.9, Philly by 1.9.
I have
essentially home field. Like I have them very equal.
1.2 for me.
1.91. Yeah, watch out for Dallas. I don't think they're going to start Trey Lance, though. It feels like it's going to be Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush did step in the other year and look okay. It feels like they start with Rush.
How long do you think Dak will be out? What is the severity?
3 weeks.
And really?
The sound of salesman.
3 weeks, huh? So that means we're going to be treated to. Okay, hold on to your butts. What is the line going to be for Cooper Rush versus Daniel Jones on Thanksgiving? I'm sorry
it's in Dallas.
Sorry to break this news to you. It's in Dallas, as always.
In Dallas. Dallas by 2.
You think?
Dallas 1. I don't know. Like I'd still make Dallas Dallas is not 2 points worse.
Parsons is back, probably.
Yeah, their defense is good. I'm probably like Dallas -2. If it's no Dak, Dallas -2. If it is Dak, Dallas -5.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I have
difference there. I don't have any NASCAR leans. Sorry, Corey.
I have Dallas -2.1. So we're not that far off. That's a good line, Andy. NASCAR.
Wait, can you imagine if it's like Cooper Rush?
They're still
doing NASCAR, I guess.
Not the season I've been over. No.
Last race I watched, the 2 racers got out of their cars at the end and ran to the finish line.
Getting close to the race for the cup. First and 25 is nice to burn under.
What's Xfinity?
Opportunity to punt here.
When's the Xfinity up?
Are they still calling it that?
I know. I have a future bet on Riley Earpst to win the Xfinity Series. Let's look
at the NASCAR Cup. Oh, the Xfinity Series.
somebody made me bet him for a race, and I fucked up and bet him, as people do, for the series instead. He didn't win the race either, so I didn't feel too bad. He is in 8th place. Oh boy, he has some ground to make up though.
I'm not feeling
He's
great
no
about
AJ
that.
Allmendinger. It doesn't look like that's cashing. Dead bet. Corey says dead bet.
Has he won any races at all? Did
Yeah,
he even win the Dude Wipes 250?
I don't
No?
know, man. I stand the 98 car, but he has one win this year, 14 top 10s. He's led 106 laps. He's a very good racer.
Who is this guy again? What's his name?
He's Riley Herbst. He drives the 98 Stuart House Racing Ford in the Xfinity. He used to be a Joe Gibbs. He used to be a Joe
Pennzoil
Gibbs
250 winner.
He is a Las Vegas native.
What was it? Oh yeah, we got
salesman. Carl Loftus is back in. I guess he exited for a few plays.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I
was male thongs.
I was on the end of my edge of my seat there.
All right, what do we got here? We're gonna have a 47-yard attempt. I can't give up many more points here, guys. I would like them to miss this.
Well, yes.
Is Grammatica still the kicker?
It is
Chase McLaughlin. Good as gold.
Chase McLaughlin.
All right, I'm gonna head home.
All right, man.
It's been a rainy-ishy day.
Oh, you're way ahead of me. 47-yard field goal is already good. Okay. All right.
I'm calling it good.
Andy, break up the nets. They're 4-4 now. Looks like. Wow. Break up the nets. Fatigue starting to creep in on some teams. I'm noticing, which is exciting. I mean, it's really time to get serious betting NBA. Bucs almost with the superstar subtraction beat the Cavs. All right. Good luck tomorrow, man. Win some bets. If you stumble across any just truly missed prices, let me know.
Yeah. If you have some fun political angles tomorrow afternoon, by all means, tweet us out. See you guys.